Chairman of IEEEP Karachi Center, Engineer Khalid Parvez, the Managing Director of Badr Expo, Mr. Zuhair Nasir, the Convener of IEEEP Fair Organizing Committee, Engineer Ahmed Zubair, sponsors and exhibitors, ladies and gentlemen, and something I get to say very rarely, which is my fellow engineers. Assalamu alaikum. Absolutely delighted to be here this morning to inaugurate this very significant exhibition of electrical and electronics products. Ladies and gentlemen, in my previous role as Commerce Minister, I was a very frequent visitor to this facility. But the real role of this facility, which also is applicable to the IEEEP Fair, is that whenever I came and saw the products or Pakistani industrialists, whether it be textile, in many other fields, car parts manufacturers, IEEEP, these fairs served for me another very important role, that was as an antidepressant, because all of us tend to get upset, disappointed by where the country is going and our current roster of problems. But whenever I came to these exhibitions, my spirit was lifted and my heart was delighted. यार कोई तो काम कर रहा है, कोई अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं. And whenever I see very significant improvements in products every time I came. So my congratulations to IEEEP for organizing this fair. This expo has suffered a great deal because of the COVID crisis in 2020 and 2021, and I'm also delighted that this in 2022 the commercial and exhibition activities are once again picking up pace and will be able to go forward here. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been in Sindh, this is my 7th day consistently, and I just wanted to share other anti-depressing stories because there's much to be depressed about. But I began last week by visiting Thar and the Thar coal-powered electricity generating plants. The Engr Thar coal is already operational, and very soon we expect the Shanghai Thar coal to also begin commercial operations. There are also two smaller projects, the TEL project and also the Thal Nova project that are coming in. So another 2,000 megawatts of electricity from Thar coal is expected. And there again, my spirit, which wants to be lifted, was lifted there in Thar coal, because it's a tremendous sight to see, ladies and gentlemen, that Thar coal, which was a distant dream or deemed to be unfeasible or not extractable, now 2 blocks are open, and it is a sight to see, first of all, the coal pits that have been dug, which of course spread out over kilometers. And I'm again reminded, I was reminded last week when I was there, कि जरा नम हो तो ये मिट्टी बहुत जरखेज है साहब. Thar coal was something that we were unable to exploit for nearly 70 years, and now, alhamdulillah, you can see with your own eyes that the resource is there, and all we had been lacking earlier was the determination and the expertise and the organizational ability to able to extract that wealth out of our soil and use it for multiple purposes. There is enough coal there, ladies and gentlemen, to not only power many more thousands of megawatts of electricity, but also to supply coal to rest of the country. So it's something that is a new avenue has opened up. I was also heartened by visiting the plants themselves. And they are indeed a sight to see. The boilers at Shanghai Thermal Plant rise to nearly 111 meters. And to see them and their operations, and of course as an engineer I'm deeply interested in how machineries work and how one processes feed into other processes. So it's a new door is opening in Thar, and of course it will all be engineering. The way Thar coal is used, and a new prospect is opening up of electricity generation, which again will, I expect and trust, will utilize the abilities of my fellow engineers, young and old, to be able to go. But then I switched from antidepressant to depressant the very next day when I accompanied the Prime Minister to Sakhar, and we saw the devastation by the floods. The next day I was in Sajawal, right on the Indian border, to see again, meet our fellow Pakistanis who have been affected and dislocated by the flood. And since then I've been here in Sindh trying to discharge my responsibility in ensuring that the electricity operations are running without interruption as much as we can in the midst of this devastation, which is huge. And it's something again for us to realize. I'll just share one anecdote that I went to grid station number 1 in Nawabshah yesterday afternoon. And again, it's a tremendous challenge if the grid station is surrounded on 4 sides by 3 feet of water. And we were trying there that maybe the main control rooms of the grid station and the generators outside, the distribution transformers outside, are kept above water so they could be operated. So there are tremendous challenges here, which of course I will be looking into, and the engineers that are employed will be very much occupied in the coming days and weeks. So there is much to do, and as Thomas Paine said hundreds of years ago, and I say this to you, that whatever you might hear or see around you in our country, and most of the news is not good, but Thomas Paine said that let us begin the world anew. हम दोबारा से एक नई दुनिया शुरू कर सकते हैं. हमारा दीन भी यही कहता है कि अल्लाह ताला की रहमत से मायूस नहीं होना चाहिए. And that's what Thomas Paine is saying. He's saying, let us begin the world anew. So I say to my fellow engineers, let us begin Pakistan anew. And the things that need to be done anew. And not to be shackled by the current processes or the current ways of doing things. I'm faced with this almost every day because, of course, I not look after, but at least occasionally monitor our electricity operations across the country. And most of the infrastructure, ladies and gentlemen, is from the 60s and 70s and 80s. And it's something that has not been upgraded to reflect the efficiencies 21st century has brought to us. So it's something that for us to strive for. Yes, extremely easy to blame the government for all ills, but nothing stops us. And I say this with all humility, that however bad your government may seem to you, nothing stops you from striving for excellence, ladies and gentlemen. And it's something I have to remind myself daily, that whatever constraints one might feel are there, one must strive every day and try to reach excellence. As Churchill said, the empires of the future are the empires of the mind. And when he said this nearly 70 years ago, we didn't know it. But now we do. That the empires of the future are the empires of the mind. And as we all like to believe, engineers have good minds, ladies and gentlemen. So we should find new ways of bringing efficiencies, find new ways of creating robust engineering solutions to the problems that confront us. And perhaps the biggest problem that confronts us today, which was encapsulated beautifully by the poet T.S. Eliot. Where is the knowledge in the information? Where is the knowledge in the information? And now, again, he said this many decades ago, but today it's more relevant than ever. Where is the knowledge in this information? And where is the wisdom in that knowledge? So, and the engineer's job first is to extract the knowledge out of the data that is surrounding us now, the onslaught of technology and information systems. So our first job is, of course, to extract knowledge from that information. And if I may be so optimistic, that some of you will have the ability to extract wisdom from that knowledge and use that knowledge and wisdom to serve the people of Pakistan. I once again congratulate all of the exhibitors and the organizers and IEEEP Karachi chapter for organizing this very valuable exhibition. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Pakistan Zindabad.